Welcome to the 5th block of the Ascot Quilt Along. This week we're going to make flying geese. And this time we're going to make flying geese using the 4 at a time method. So for this you're going to need 8 4 1/4 inch squares in background fabric, 1 7 3/4 inch square in fabric A and 1 7 3/4 inch square in fabric B. Make your very own sampler quilt with the 9-block Ascot quilt pattern. Scan the QR code or visit the website today. Let's get quilting. The first thing we're going to do is draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the fabric of the background fabrics. Now we're going to take one of these 7 3/4 inch square pieces, and in the corner we're going to pin one of those smaller squares. And then we're going to pin another square in the opposite corner. The diagonal line is going to need to run from corner to corner. And I'm going to repeat that with the other 7 3/4 inch square. And when I take it to the sewing machine, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on both sides of the line. I'm now going to remove the pins and then cut along that drawn line. I'm now going to press those pieces. So I'm going to set the seam, then I'm going to press to the small triangles. Now I'm going to take one of these background squares with a diagonal line. I'm going to place it in the other corner. The diagonal line needs to intersect these two triangles. I'm going to pin that in place. I'm going to repeat that with all of them. I'm going to take these back over to the sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch away on both sides of the drawn line. I'm going to remove the pins and then I'm going to cut along that drawn line. And now the flying geese need to be pressed. So I'm going to set the seam and then I'm going to press it towards a small triangle. And now these need to be trimmed. So I prefer to use the Ultimate Flying Geese tool, designed by Deb Heatherly and produced by Creative Grids, for trimming these half square triangles. But if you don't have one of these tools, you can watch my video, click on the link above, and it will take you to my video on how to trim flying geese with a standard ruler. I'm going to use the Ultimate Flying Geese ruler, and we're going to trim to 3.5 by 6.5. So when you're trimming with your standard ruler, that's what you're trimming to, 3.5 by 6.5. Now on this ruler, it shows you the finished size, and the finished size is 3 by 6. So that is an F line on this ruler. So what you do is you trim, the trim number 1 is you place your unit underneath the ruler and you line the F lines with the triangles on your ruler. And then you cut up one side and along the top. And then you turn the unit and the ruler for trim number 2. So again, lining the F lines up on your flying geese, you trim up one side and along the top. So I'm going to continue doing that with all my flying geese. So now that these have all been cut to size, they need to be put in the block layout. So I've got the flying geese in the block layout, and now we need to join the flying geese in pairs. And when I take it over to the sewing machine, I'm going to sew it with this point facing towards me so that I can see where the two seams cross over, so that I don't blunt the point. So back at the sewing board, I'm going to set the seams. I'm going to press away from the point. And now we're going to put it back into block layout. Okay, so now we're going to sew these together in pairs. And this center line here needs to come down through these points here. I'm going to pin it in place, and as I can just lift it back and see that it is going through the points. So I'm going to take those over to the sewing machine. So back at the sewing board, I'm going to set the seams and I'm going to press them away from the points. So these points here, so we're pressing up. Then pop it back into block layout. And we've got the last seam to sew, and just going to grab those pins, and because we press those seams in opposite directions, they should nest. I'm going to take that back to the sewing machine. So back at the ironing board, I'm going to press that seam by setting it first, and then I'm going to press the seam open for a flatter finish. I found it quite difficult to press that seam open, so I just snipped the seam at the center point, and I've been able to press them in opposite directions. So that is your flying geese block finished. Congratulations, you have completed the flying geese block.